If you date unavailable people, you need to watch this. Because listen, I know you love it, but I know you hate it at the exact same time because there's this unconscious, crazy draw to people who just don't seem to be available. I get it, I've lived it, and I'm gonna walk you through in this video why that happens, but also how to get out. Because at the end of the day, when you date unavailable people, it means that on some level, you are unavailable yourself. Now that's the bad news, right? But the good news is that if you're unavailable yourself, then you can change that and then you won't be drawn to unavailability anymore. Because to available people, unavailability is not attractive. It's not attractive. It's immediately at least an orange flag. Now look, I have read in the comments where a guy was like, no, listen, I was talking to this girl. She was for sure available. I know she was. She was in a relationship. That's not available. If someone is just out of a relationship, if someone is in a relationship, if someone is married, if someone is going through heartbreak, if someone is going through stuff, if someone has an active addiction, they're not emotionally available. Now, what happens is it activates a childhood wound. I mean, that's usually where it comes from almost all the time, is that our draw to unavailability really comes from there being a reference point when we were younger that unavailability was normal, that we longed for a parent or both parents, but usually just one mainly is where the wound mostly lives. We longed for their attention. We longed for them to see us, choose us, know us. Maybe our dad left. Maybe our mom was an alcoholic. Right? It could be so many different reasons. And I don't want you to get lost in the pathology. The pathology helps, which means where did it come from? But don't get lost in it, because getting lost in needing to know where it came from, which makes it not your fault, which is great because it's not your fault. It's an adaptive strategy. But it can hold you hostage because you get stuck trying to find the answer and the answer and the answer of why do I attract narcissistic people? Why do I keep dating cheaters? Why do I stay with people who are liars? Those are all unavailable people, right? Emotionally. It's because what lives in availability is a grief. What lives in availability is a fear. I'm going to be let down. I'm going to be betrayed. I'm going to be lied to. So what happens is we create an unconscious upper limit to what we can tolerate. Now here's the mind F of this. Of course you're going, wait, I'm drawn to unavailable people because I want to avoid being hurt, yet I keep getting hurt by unavailable people? Come on, Mark, give your head a shake. Yeah, that's exactly it, because there's a tolerable amount of pain that you know that you can handle before you go to another level where you fully open up to someone. Because think about it. Here's how the story goes. You meet somebody, you fall in love, right? Fall deeply in love, and you almost it's like a Disney movie. But then what happens is they leave you, they lie to you, they betray you, they cheat on you, whatever it is, they abandon you, they ghost you. That is devastating. So what's smarter if you never want to ever experience that again? And remember, if the template's created from a mother or a father, that's a deep wound. If we don't excavate it, we'll never be able to walk towards great love, because what lives where our greatest love was modeled is some of our greatest pain, if not our greatest pain. So that's what the unconscious mind does, is it creates these upper limits that we call dating patterns. And those dating patterns are what you come with as a complaint or a symptom. But really, those dating patterns are ways that you're unconsciously trying to protect yourself from ever being that hurt again. And so that can also show up as having really high standards. Really high standards are often just walls. I'm not saying you shouldn't have high standards. You should have effing high standards. But your standards, the purpose of them is not to keep people out completely. It's to be able to curate who gets to be part of your life, right? And if you're letting unavailable people, if you're letting them be part of your life, then you know that you got some doorways that shouldn't be allowed. You know that what someone who is available codes as an orange or a red flag, you're actually not even coding. You might even be making it a green flag. Or because you're so afraid of not being chosen, of not being loved, of being lonely, that you actually accept much less than your standard. Now listen, here's the simple part. You got to make the standard that you want to live by, the type of a relationship you truly desire, you have to actually declare that. Because if you say to me, Mark, I want great love, I go, man, that's amazing. But here's what's going to happen is someone's going to come into your life. We'll call it a test. They're going to be covered in coconut oil, great abs. They're going to be everything you want except for available, except for fully available. And you're going to be tested because the question becomes, is what I'm choosing aligned with what I say I want, or is it not? And if it's not, you're lying to yourself. And if you lie to yourself, you can't trust yourself. If you can't trust yourself, you're going to be anxious, you're going to be depressed, and you're going to blame the world. You're going to blame the category of people available on Tinder when it's really you who is saying yes to these people. So that's why I said the bad news is it means you're emotionally unavailable. The good news is you know you're emotionally unavailable and now you can resolve it. So that's what we want to explore is where did it come from, right? Like where does that template exist? And I just want you to think about that. When you go to your childhood, can you think of a parent that you had a longing to be seen by, a longing to be loved by? And maybe you had, as I said, a parent who left. Maybe you were adopted, right? And the thing in psychology that's really fascinating is when we ask questions about childhood, we'll say your parents or your primary caregivers. If the answer to who was around you and raised you is not your parents, and it's your nanny, it's your grandparents, there's a grief already existing that it's not your parents. And there's this use of language in psychology that tries to minimize the pain of that truth. But that is a painful truth, that the answer isn't mom and dad, it's grandma and grandpa, or it's the nanny, or it's whoever, it's my aunt. So we have to actually call out that it's not your mom and dad so you can grieve that, right? Like, I can't protect you and be afraid that you're going to feel feelings and then be deceiving to you so you don't feel them because I'm afraid you can't handle the very feelings that are going to wake you up to emotional availability. Because in order to be emotionally available, you have to be available to all your emotions. That means grief. That means anger, right? So if you want to choose available people, you have to get to know the story of where you believe available love goes that hurts you, that has created these dating strategies that you have. It's actually that simple. So I want you to get honest with yourself. Because here's the thing. When someone says, I was going to talk to you about that thing, but I didn't. The reason they didn't is because in their head, there's already a story of how the conversation goes. And so instead of actually having the conversation, they already don't have it because they've created a story of how it's going to go. So they decide not to talk to you about it. And we do this all the time. We decide not to have a conversation with someone that might cause them to experience emotion, even though it's actually that emotion that will wake them up. Like if I'm afraid you're going to react when I tell you the truth, and so I never tell you the truth, then now not only have I suppressed my truth and resented you, I now have not allowed our relationship to share the truth with you so you can wake up to reality. I do not collude with people in them playing small. And so I'm not going to collude with you in it. And I'm not going to tell you that it's okay to collude with other people. Stop protecting people from the truth of their reality. Stop protecting yourself from the truth of your reality. If you keep dating similar types of people and ending up in similar types of outcomes relationally, you are the common denominator in those things. If you want to change your life, change yourself. If you want to change your relationships, change yourself. It's that level of responsibility that we need to take, and everything else will completely transform. If you want to dive a little deeper into how attachment and the nervous system works, go to the link down below and check it out. It's free. And also make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and comment below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what resonated with you. Let me know what else you want me to dive deeper in. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I can't wait to see you again soon.